Hey everybody, Eddie J on crypto. Hope you're having a great day. Lots to discuss. So the EU. Good thing is they are not going to have a ban on proof of work, but there could be language that could douse the use of non-custodial wallets. So that's something to talk about. Coinbase is about these close to closing a deal to purchase Brazil's largest exchange. And that's a big deal, and we'll get into that. Something that people are not going to be happy about, I think, in the future is going to be Meta, formerly Facebook. Meta has filed for 8 patents, and they span everything from digital assets to metaverse to NFTs. I have opinions about that, and we'll get into it. Grayscale might just flip the script on the SEC because the SEC has been taking so long, and the SEC is actually under a lot of heat because they've been taking so long on certain things. One of them being Grayscale's ability to move their Bitcoin trust to being a Bitcoin ETF or exchange traded fund. That is huge. I think the timing could be right too. Last but not least, FINRA is weighing in on complex crypto transactions, saying that there might that there might be necessity for additional regulation to protect investors with those complex transactions. So we'll get into all of that. So it's great that the EU is going to ditch the verbiage around banning proof of work. As you all know, Bitcoin is all about proof of work. So that's going to be a huge deal. Ethereum is moving from proof of work to proof of stake. That's why their merge is a very big deal, because that would have protected them from everything that, the EU is going after. Plus, really, it's far more efficient and takes up a heck of a lot less energy. So that's a big deal. Better for the environment. I'm not going to say good, but better for the environment. So the problem is that the EU, although they're going to remove the language for the ban on proof of work, they are also possibly introducing new regulation around using non-custodial wallets. And the reason why is because they might actually require exchanges to provide more information on the payer and the payee for transactions above 1,000 euro. Now, that sounds familiar to anybody in the United States because that's pretty much how banks operate here, and that's pretty much how Bitcoin ATMs have to operate as well. That said, in the EU, that language that they have or don't have could actually wind up making it so that exchanges would wind up halting transfers to those kinds of wallets. Meaning, anonymous wallets or hardware wallets where people don't want, certain information attached to those wallets. That could be a big deal. Now, the reason for this is because of anti-money laundering and anti-terror financing, but it could really impugn people's privacy. So that's something else that everybody's going to be watching over. Now, something I'm actually excited about is Binance is the world's largest exchange, centralized exchange. Bitcoin, I believe, is the second largest, and they're making huge moves. Their strategy is to go out around the world and buy exchanges. Well, with Rio de Janeiro Brazil considering making Bitcoin legal tender, this move could be huge. Coinbase is about a hair away and could close as soon as next month on the deal to purchase 2TM. According to Estadão, I think is how it's actually pronounced, a local newspaper. I think they're the third largest newspaper in Brazil. The makers or the owners behind Mercado Bitcoin could wind up being owned by Coinbase. That's huge because that says that That population in Brazil is a huge population that could be on Coinbase's platform. And that could mean big money. So if you're holding Coinbase stock, there's a lot more to come, right? Something that bothers me that came up in the news is Meta is filing for a lot of patents. They just filed for 8 new patents, and they span from, actually, I have a list. I can actually give you the list on the patents and what they follow. Meta's patents cover crypto tokens, blockchain software, virtual currency exchanges, financial and currency trading, digital, crypto, and virtual currencies. Does that sound like a lot? Does it sound like it's kind of far reaching? Yeah. Yeah, in a major way. So my question is, what are those patents like? And I got that through this guy. He's actually an attorney. He's actually a US PTO certified trademark attorney. And his name is Michael. Michael, don't be mad at me. I know I'm going to butcher your name right now, and I'm hoping I'm getting it right. Attorney Michael Kondudis. I think that's how you pronounce it. And he listed out everything that's there. And I'm sitting back and I'm going, that's really far reaching. And I think they're going to wind up making even more enemies that are out there, right? There are a lot of people that just don't like Facebook and their practices and this kind of heavy-handed approach. Oh, it's not patented. Just because something is not patented doesn't mean it's not being done. And that's a very big deal to note. So it's going to be interesting to watch how those patents, how those patent applications play out, and see what happens, with Meta trying to, really make a foothold in the space. I mean, with that kind of money, I thought they just would have purchased a couple of companies and called it a day, right? But we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Now, Grayscale to go after the SEC. Now, the SEC is feeling heat from Congress. Why are you dragging your feet across so many things? Just why are you overburdening crypto companies with all this reporting? Just what are you doing? What's your approach? If Grayscale took the SEC to court, they could actually win. And the reason why is all that heat, builds up. And Grayscale sitting there going, well, they've done other ETFs in the over a year that we filed for our ETF. And electronic, it's exchange traded funds. So that's actually a very big deal, because I'm sitting here and I'm saying to myself, yeah, they've been dragging their feet for over a year. For what purpose? For what reason? Right? Why? So who's got to be in their bonnet in the SEC for all of these missteps? And they've got a string of missteps. The letter from Congress is actually a letter that is bipartisan. So you have people in both parties that are asking the SEC, what's up? So the timing could be perfect for Grayscale to do it. And truthfully, I hope they do, because win or lose, it would force the SEC, to be done with it. Either yes or no, and give a reason as to why the answer would be no, right? That's the big deal. So that's one. Two, just the fairness of the whole thing. I just don't think the SEC is being fair. I don't think the SEC has really given strong thought to what they should do. Which leads me to FINRA. FINRA is actually thinking about, why they want to introduce, or why they could introduce new regulation around complex crypto transactions. Now, I don't know the definition of complex crypto transactions, but I know they exist, and I can come up with a few in my head real fast. But you see the clarity, the difference in the clarity between what FINRA is saying and what the SEC is saying? FINRA is saying complex transactions could be, dangerous for people that don't know what they are in each step and each piece of those transactions. Hence, complex. I get it. That's a clear statement. Whether you agree with it or not, it's a very clear statement. Something the SEC hasn't done in forever? So if the SEC could get their act in line, That would help a lot of people in the industry. And I think they're going to be pressured to actually get their butt in gear and start doing things properly, because so far they're missing a lot. They're missing a lot. Anyway, let's get to the numbers because things have been gorgeous today. All righty. You know what? I know we're on we might as well cover this one first. The fear and greed index, we're at 60. Again, we're deep into greed, right? The idea is that coins are doing well. And I did a special video earlier today, this morning. It's just at, market open, where I was talking about, listen, everybody's a rock star when the market is going up. Everybody's a rock star. I don't care. I don't care. What I care about is sharing different ways on how to think so that you can look at things and weigh things so that you can make a better decision for yourself. This is what I'm teaching my kids. Not one perspective, but a lot of perspectives on a smaller subject area, which makes you better at flipping and handling that subject area. Well, right now the market is up. Like I said, we're deep in greed right now, so people are kind of happy. But let's take a look at winners and losers. Yeah, that's all how I gather data. So I create a fake workbook to make it work, and then come up with all the data, put all the data in, and that's how I come up with winners and losers. Well, there are more charts in here that we're going to wind up putting on the website, but I needed to create a kind of dummy portfolio so we could see how everything works, so that when we launch the website, we've got tools that are actually helpful and not just sitting there for no reason. But as you can see, losers, not that bad. Is there anybody on this list that we could be paying attention to? Here's Zilliqa, down 6%. Yeah, down a little bit. Yeah, it's down a little bit because they're above that 5% rule that I have, right? Anything within 5%, not really moving, but 6%, you're paying attention. So if I have a platform that I'm using, I would set a notification bell at 5%, right? Because anything less than 5%, I don't care. But any move plus or minus 5%, I'm looking at that move on anything that I'm holding. Why? Because if it hits 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, especially in a short time frame, I'm probably going to do something. So something to think about. So there you go. Zilliqa moved. Is there anybody else that I'm in here that I'm kind of interested in? Cadena, 4%, not really. So anything under here, it's not really doing anything. I said this morning I was looking for a pullback, and guess what? There's a pullback on VeChain. So from it, not a big pullback. It's only 4%. It's 4% pullback. Am I going to buy in right now? Maybe. And the reason why is because they're far off their all-time high, right? So if they're far off their all-time high, I'm kind of like, that could be a flipping opportunity, right? Because their all-time high is 28 cents, and they're sitting at 7 cents right now. It's 4 times where they could be, or where they were. So there's a lot of upside potential right there. So something for me to consider. Big movers over here. I have no idea who Power Cash is. Do you see that? Up 1,000%. I have no idea what project that is, but I want you to look at their rank in terms of market cap. They're ranked 28th. Okay? They're ranked 28th with almost $6 billion market cap. That's something that people should be paying attention to. That 1,000% move in just 24 hours brings them up to the, wow, 1 penny, almost 2 cents. That was big. So yeah, I might be slow, and I didn't catch anything because I wasn't paying attention to it. So it's not a coin that was on my radar, but interesting. I might go look that one up. Decentralized Social, another one that I've heard the name, might go look it up. Not sure yet. Waves is another one. They're at 40%. Anybody else on here? Immutable X, 12.2%. Remember yesterday they were also up, and today they're up again. So pretty sure that has a lot to do with GameStop. Filecoin up almost 10%. So there are things on here that I would be paying attention to in terms of how they're moving. Everybody on here is above 5% move. So I would have received a notification and I'd be looking to see, well, wait a minute, these are things that I'm paying attention to. It moved. Moonbeam, it was up yesterday and it's up again today. Something to think about. So I'm looking at what could move, what's moving them, and what could be moving with them. So that's kind of what my thing is, because I'm looking for not just short term, but I'm looking for short term moves, midterm moves, long term moves, which is why not that I have no idea, but why I've been looking into government regulation around the world to see, is that going to cause an influx of money? Is it going to cause outflows? Is there going to be a positive effect, negative effect? Is it macro? Is it micro? Those are the things I'm looking for. So let's go over here to everything that's looking beautiful right now. Bitcoin could peel back underneath 47,000. It did go above 48 today. But for me, in my head, I'm just looking for above 50. I'm looking for it to hit that above 50 mark. And that would be my thing. Again, Ethereum this is going bonkers. Again, Ethereum is at 33 or 3,300. And last week, it was at what, 27? These are big moves. These are really big moves. Avalanche is up. Solana's down a little bit, but Solana's not down all the way, and they have more to go. Solana's got a great platform. It's layer 1, and they've got great technology. They have a great NFT space. So pay attention to Solana. You should also be paying attention to Luna. Clicked on it, and I don't know why, but might as well wait and see what it shows us. A little bit more detail, a little less waiting time would be nice. All right, taking too long. We'll come back to it. Again, this is just showing you who's going up, who's not going up. Shiba Inu making nice moves. They're at 27 when a couple of days ago they were at like 23. So those are nice moves. When you look at their numbers, they're a $15 billion market cap. Hence, they're ranked number 15. So when I look at that, I kind of sit back and go, everybody's like, oh, but that's far behind Doge. Don't forget, they've been burning coin. Doge is doing well. Don't get me wrong. Look at Doge, 14 cents. There was a time where I was like, if it goes under 10 cents, it's going to be tough. That's going to be a tough recovery. But when you look at them, well, it's at 14 cents now. When I look at SHIB, they're at 27 cents now. I think SHIB, to me, I'm still a believer in SHIB. I think SHIB is gonna wind up surpassing Doge in terms of usefulness and acceptance around the world. That's where my head is at, and it's still not up. I don't understand why it's taking so long. Whatever, but at least you have an idea about what's out there, what's possible to play with, and why. Right? Start looking through the news. Start doing searches on the coins that you're interested in. Find out, are there macro events that are affecting it? Find out if there are micro events that are affecting it. If you look at Bitcoin, I was listening to the news today and they were saying Bitcoin is up 38% from where they were, the day before Russia invaded Ukraine. Wow. Remember I told you, everything's going to move kind of in steps. Right? It's going to move kind of in steps. You know what I was missing? I didn't have trading view up. Oh, come on, bring me to my chart. There you go. This should be Bitcoin. Yep. So look at this. Look at this. Again, like I said, you're gonna see stair steps going up. It seems to be going up a little bit, bouncing around. Going up a little bit, bouncing around. That's called a stair step. So I'm looking at Bitcoin and I'm saying to myself, that could be a very big deal. Right? Let's bring it in a little bit so you can see more of those steps. Do you see how it bounces, 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 goes up, bounces, 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 goes up, bounces, 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 goes up. It's doing the same thing. It establishes a new low, bounces around, establishes a new low, and it just keeps going. Now, it's not always going to go up. I said this morning, I do expect a little bit of a pullback, so be prepared, okay? Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto. I hope this information helps you to figure out your next move. And do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and even hit the notification bell so you know when I'm dropping videos. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.